Decided with Ross, some bozo. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons, and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a motherfucker who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the line.
In about 10 days, Ross is gonna throw him away. I'm gonna be real with you, Screech. I mean, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you ought to knock that down. What 50 gonna do? He's gonna burn that down. He gonna release that last season, and then he's gonna release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that man.
Elliot did my new BMF piece. My old BMF pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, it's real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100, maybe. But it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for a pendant. This some shit like, you gotta give my daddy, like when he come home, I gotta keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, you see straight the water.
I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life. They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Cause nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay? That is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that? Right? Maybe if they have some trauma, you know, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? He should have came home and made his coming home about family. You know, passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as like almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Cause no, all I'm thinking about is some clout, some temporary clout. Because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine.
All right, so Tony Yayo disclosed in a startling new interview the real reason 50 Cent left Big Meech. And trust me when I say, it's all about the money. To make matters worse, Big Meech squandered all of his BMF money, and his son, Lil Meech, did the same. Their financial struggles are no secret. Now, 50 Cent has completely cut ties with them, even threatening to shut BMF down for good. It's safe to say this family is on the verge of financial collapse. With Big Meech and Lil Meech out here struggling to make money, they have no one to blame but themselves. But just how bad is their situation? And what exactly did Tony Yayo reveal? Let's break it all down.
Now, the question everyone's been asking about. 50 Cent versus Big Meech.
Man, you know that 50 crazy, man. 50.
During a recent interview with Vlad TV, Tony Yayo opened up about Big Meech's financial struggles. And trust me, it's worse than anyone thought. Here's the thing. Tony Yayo and a few of his boys pulled up to Big Meech's house on October 15, 2024, the very day he was released from prison. And guess what? Big Meech immediately started complaining about Lil Meech not giving him any money. Turns out, Meech is struggling financially and was hoping his own son would come through for him. But here's where it gets cold. Tony Yayo showed zero sympathy. He straight up said that Meech has no one to blame but himself because he recklessly burned through all the BMF money instead of managing it wisely. And now, he's paying a price.
When we go to your crib and me and Murder sitting in the backyard and you like, yo, little baby ain't give me no money. He came in the Ferrari truck, he had the Ferrari truck, he had 4 pockets full. I'm looking at this like, yo, this nigga tripping. Like, little baby he's not obligated to give you nothing. I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something. Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind. Because he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, this nigga wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money, and you don't make the right decisions.
Apparently, that's the reason Guzzi agreed to do a freebie for him. Welcome Back Home concert for Meech before it got canceled.
Assuming that you were doing it for free.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming everyone else was doing it for free also.
I'm pretty. I don't, but I'm pretty. I mean,
yeah.
You charge a nigga home from jail,
Tony Yayo didn't hold back. He claimed that Lil Meech is just as reckless with money as his father. So if Big Meech was expecting his son to build wealth and help him out, he's in for a rude awakening. Why? Because Lil Meech has reportedly blown $100,000 on just 10 pairs of Chrome Hearts jeans. Yes, you heard that right. This proves one thing: he has zero financial sense. Instead of flexing a ridiculous designer wardrobe, he could have been helping his struggling parents. But clearly, his priorities are way off.
Be young and have money is crazy because we was young and had money before, so I understand. Motherfucker got Richard Millie's, Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Heart jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hearts for 10,000, I might wear them shits for a month, bro. $10,000 jeans, you know, we was buying Red Monkeys, them shits is what, $1,000 back in the days? Now everything is like triple the price when it comes to drip. So it's like, I understand him being young and all that. You gotta think, when you look at Lil Meech, no disrespect to him, but you hanging in Atlanta with Thugger and Gunna and the niggas at that point, them niggas got super bread. So even if you make 4 million, 3 million, you made a couple of million, whatever you made, I don't know the numbers exactly. The money that they making that in a couple of months. Or for touring and streaming and all that, you acting. So I think him being in Atlanta, I think that shit, I don't know, that Atlanta shit, you know, shout out to Magic City and the ladies, man, and all them clubs out there. That shit is a good way to spend money.
Fans already know Tony Yayo isn't lying, because Lil Meech made headlines back in 2023 when he appeared on GQ's On The Rock series, writing about his insanely expensive jewelry. He put on a cocky, arrogant act, showing off his flashy purchases, but what really shocked fans was the $500,000 BMF chain. People couldn't believe he had dropped $500,000 on a single piece, especially knowing his family's financial struggles.
Elliot did my new BMF piece. My old BMF pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, it's real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started hurting. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big burgers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for a pendant. This some shit like, you gotta give my daddy, like when he come home, I keep this forever, like, you know. You can't even go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, we see straight.
At least he ain't getting an earful from his pops, seeing as Meech has the same money problems himself.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row. Now you got what dudes in the corner watching that want to spend their couple $1 million with you. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's like a lavish homes, lavish spots all over this mall.
To make matters worse, it looks like things won't be getting better anytime soon, especially after 50 Cent hit Lil Meech with a brutal reality check in a since-deleted Instagram post. Lil Meech confronted 50 Cent over his constant taunts about Big Meech, exposing their private text exchanges. In the messages, Lil Meech complained, "You unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you're managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I was the one who introduced him to you first." Then he got even more emotional, saying, "I took the clothes off my back for you, and now you treat me like an enemy. I've never betrayed you. I've only ever shown you love and loyalty." But things took an even wilder turn when Lil Meech brought up Big Meech's unexpected run-in with 50 Cent's longtime rival, Rick Ross. He downplayed it, saying, "Forget Ross, but he gave my dad some money to cover his expenses until the next season starts." But 50 Cent wasn't having it. He clapped back, mocking Lil Meech, saying, "What next season, Lil Ninja?" Some fans thought 50 Cent was being too harsh, but he was clearly enjoying the drama, even roasting Big Meech's financial struggles. He took things even further, sharing a GoFundMe link on Instagram, sarcastically trying to help Big Meech cover his $30,000 a month errand rent. And the worst part, 50 Cent claimed the errand wasn't even Meech's, it belonged to P from Quality Control. Just so you know, Big Meech was so desperate for money that he actually launched the GoFundMe himself after his Welcome Home event got canceled.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled. The funds from the Welcome Home concert was supposed to go towards his bills, and it was supposed to assist him in paying them off. Now,
even though these allegations remain unverified, Tony Yayo still had a lot to say in the interview, despite some people claiming that none of it is true. One of his biggest claims, that when 50 Cent visited Big Meech's house after his release from prison, everything between them seemed fine. But here's the twist: while most people believe that Rick Ross was the real reason behind the fallout, Tony Yayo thinks otherwise. According to Tony, the real issue isn't just Rick Ross, it's the fact that 50 Cent made millions off the BMF deal, while Big Meech is now struggling to survive. And let's be real, menace 50 Cent is grinding harder than ever and making way more money. And that power shift is eating Meech alive. Because let's not forget, Big Meech used to run everything. Now, he's broke, powerless, and watching 50 thrive.
That was crazy. We went to Meech's house, we sat down with him, Lil Meech, and you know, I thought, you know, big things in the future was coming, you know, because he was talking about stories about motherfuckers jumping in cars with bricks, and he just was telling the war stories that was amazing, where I was mesmerized, and you know, him and 50 was kicking it, and everything was good, you know. And then fast forward to the Ross thing, you know, and that's when everything kind of went left, you know. And you know, BMF was the last niggas to do it in the game. You know, my album came out in 2005. Them niggas was lit, you know. But I think something with 50 is like 50 is the type of I think certain niggas just don't want him to be in the driver's seat all the time. That's how it seemed, because it just seemed like a bad deal. You know, you was with 50. He's talking about stuff in the future. He made your family money. You know, you would think you would be a little bit appreciative, but motherfuckers don't have to be loyal to 50 in business. That's how I guess that's how Meech felt, because he's his own.
Actually, Tony went on to talk about how 50 helped Lil Meech while his father was in jail. You might be surprised to hear that 50 changed Lil Meech's life by funding his acting school.
You know, but when you take Lil Meech and you put him in acting school, you know, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping, and nobody was helping him from what I seen, because I remember when Lil Meech was rapping. Nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting school, kept it on the low, and he made all this money.
Fans are able to determine whether a 50 Cent and Big Meech has been a better parent to Little Meech. 50i even recently made the decision to showcase his coaching skills on Instagram. Now that I think about it, I think Big Meech was uncomfortable with my relationship with Mimi. He remarked that he used to do X like it was great when I told Mimi that I didn't want him using drugs. He informed me how much money he had, but it appears that 50 chose to send Lil Meech to rehab when things started to go wrong. I begged him to quit spending all of his money. The fact that I had to send Mimi to treatment is unknown to others. After Russell Hornsby started puking during a weapons test and peeping while high as EF on set, Ian told me that he had whippets in his pickup. I asked, what are whippets? As I examined the objects in baby guns. Efu Hamim is 50's moniker for Lil Meech, and it seems like 50 takes great pride on 50. I talked about everything he has done for Meech, including how he has made the family millions of money in another story. He made it clear that he should not be held accountable for the father-son team's current financial predicament. Added the caption, why didn't the old boy look out for Mimi and send him to acting school for a big screech? And included some old footage of Lil Meech and Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, during their time together. None of your people that were out helped him. You come home thinking you're the black one, he continued. Pablo Escobar and effed him up in allusion to the reports that the next season of BMF will be the last one, if it isn't canceled first. 50, I also said, I helped your family make over $5 million legitimate dollars, but it's not my fault, before to getting bullets. Big Meech returns the baby's jewelry when you wear it, stating, you think people don't see that you want to shine so badly. Supporters believe that all of this difficulty might have been avoided if Big Meech had remained loyal to 50. In order to collaborate on BMF movies and spin-offs, Big Meech could have easily made $40 million, but instead, he went and took that picture with Rick Ross, ruining his connection with 50.
What he did, you sided with Ross, some bozo. You got 19 years of being incarcerated. That 50 could have took that and converted that to about 5 seasons, and then turned around and then did the overall movie. He had a good 30 to 50 million he could have made. Now you standing next to a mother who couldn't even keep a concert going. Rick Ross is on the concert.
Second on the line.
In about 10 days, Ross is gonna throw him away. I'm gonna be real with you, Screech, Meech. If Rick Ross, seeing what he did to you, because he knew what he was doing standing on the side of him, right? He know Meech ain't thinking straight. If he don't throw you 3 wing stops, you ought to knock that out. What 50 gonna do? He's gonna burn that down. He gonna release that last season, and then he's gonna release the Tammy and discredit everything that people thought that.
Indeed, some people think that Big Meech's relationship with Rick Ross not only ruined his personal circumstances, but also his son's destiny.
Meech getting out of jail and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival is prime example of how an unhealed parent can literally ruin your life. They will mess up relationships with your friends, with your significant other. You might even lose your job. Cause nobody can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, his son's boss's known rival, was not deliberate. Okay? That is a very conscious choice. And why might a parent do that? Right? Maybe if they have some trauma, a little bit of resentment and jealousy. Because sometimes with an unhealed parent, all of the reasons they should be proud of you are the same reasons why they're a little bit jealous of you, right? He should have came home and made his coming home about family. Passing the ranks to his son on TV, making millions, looking good, he acting, got a career. You shouldn't even be all on the phones, on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It'll never be 2008 again. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't healed that. So now you trying to relive your 20s. So you're not seeing your son's accomplishments as this is my son's accomplishments. You're seeing it as almost like competition. Like, oh, you trying to one-up me? Now the real Big Meech is home. So now let me show you how to get some money. Let me show you how to do it. I'm gonna go work with your boss's rival. You think Big Meech thought about how him working with Rick Ross would affect his son? Cause no, all I'm thinking about is some clout. Some temporary clout. Because let's be clear, that relationship with Rick Ross and Big Meech is not real. It's not genuine. If somebody is with you just to spite somebody else, that is not a genuine bond.
Big Meech is ultimately accountable for his financial troubles. Apart from his inadequate financial management, he dashed his son's aspirations for a stable future, which implied that Meech might yet have hope. Things in the vicinity fans will have to wait and see if Rick Ross can actually pull it off, as he was unable to even pull together his welcome return performance for Meech. Ross just posted on his Instagram stories that he would like to do a BMF movie. Aren't exactly considering him to be the most reliable person at the present. But what do you believe Big Meech's future holds? Can he pull himself back from the verge of financial collapse?